So we live. Let's see if people.
Steady love. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So,
Huh?
I said so.
You said we're on there? There we go. Mr. Tay said we are on Facebook now, so I don't know what
Oh,
happened,
okay.
but
Here
we're
we go.
here.
Here we
So
go.
we're
Here we go.
so we live now. We live. This
Yeah,
is good.
baby.
This is good. This
For
is
the
good.
win. For the win.
So we late. We late.
Hey,
We on
y'all.
we on CPT.
We just gonna blame it on retrograde.
Look, but you ain't never lied. It feels like it. It's been a weird day all day round. So, but we live again. We up and running. We sorry we late, y'all. We had technical difficulties today, but we made it work. Not a good way to start the we back process, but we back.
But we back.
We back, y'all. I don't know if y'all missed us, but we missed y'all. We both have just been taking some breathers, some time, rejuvenating our spirits. Because when you're doing the healing work, you got to be in a space to do the healing work, which is something that I'm constantly reminding myself. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup, sis. You got to have somewhat of a full cup to pour into anything else. So,
Absolutely.
I know you feel me on that. But we are back.
Absolutely.
It is so good to be back live and we gonna talk again. We do apologize about the lateness, but we are here to have a serious conversation today. During this time of us having a break from everything, there was we gonna talk. We were still doing stuff in the background, but from going live, I was having a bunch of interesting conversations with so many people and recognizing just how tired we all are as a whole. Like, we are tired as a
Yes.
people. And not only are we tired with society and the way things are going, what really made it hard for me to listen to is how tired we are with each other. Like, we are just so tired of each other. And I'm gonna be honest, in the past few days, past few weeks, especially, it's been some times where I've been like, my people make me sick. I love my people, but Lord, they make me sick sometimes. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Like, what is going on? Right. And so, and just talking and having conversations and allowing myself to sit wherever it was that I was feeling like, we is really tired, and we're fighting one another, and we're fighting each other for the same thing. So we need to talk about why we mad, why we tired, um, and how we can try to, strategize and getting past this, because this really is a generational trauma that passes down from generation to generation. Because I'm tired, my mama was tired, my mother's mother was tired, my mother's mother's mother was tired, her mother was tired. It's just constantly passing down. So we
Sick
want
and tired of being tired.
to tired of being tired of being
Yeah.
tired. So let's get into this, sis. Like, are you tired, sis? Why are you
Well,
tired?
I'm tired. I'm
You
not
tired?
gonna lie to you,
You tired,
okay?
sis? Okay.
Not gonna lie to you.
Why
I'm
you tired?
tired, sus. I'm tired. I'm
I did it.
tired, sus. I'm tired. Listen, when I tell you I don't feel like doing anything, and so I was actually talking to Dion earlier today, and so these people said I had a weekend, honey. I'm like, I'm gonna lay here. Cause when do I lay here? I'm always working. I got deadlines. I got things due, honey. I'm like, I'm
Oh,
going to lay here.
you
I'm going to
laid
lay
you
here.
laid there?
I laid there, sis. I laid there. I watched some television. You hear me talking to you? A show or two. You hear me talking to you? I laid there.
This time has been fruitful for all of us in
I
some
got a
way.
little rest. You hear me
Okay.
talking to you?
All right.
But I know when I get to a point of like tired, because I'm a energizer bunny. I be gone. I be everywhere doing everything with a smile, just getting it done, right? And then when I get to a point like this where I'm like, I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm just gonna lay down and I'm not gonna do nothing. Okay. Got meetings? Got stuff to do.
Not today.
I'm reclaiming my energy and I'm reclaiming my time. Okay. And for me, I'm like, okay, I know now in this moment I need a break. and I think we talked, for me specifically, we talked a little bit about this before, is that like with COVID and everything, especially right now, like I've always been a bit of a workaholic, but I always have moments to break. Like, okay, with my sister girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's an event or something. Like, I had breaks, and
Right.
like COVID is no break because it's like I can't go hang with the crew like I used to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna go to work, then I'm gonna go to the studio and do some other work, and I'm gonna come home and work, and then I'm gonna work, and then I'm gonna play with the baby, and then I'm gonna work, you know. And so I am currently trying to find a balance of not working all the time, even though I have the possibility and the capability to work all the time, because that ain't like that's not life, you know. Also, setting those boundaries we love so much here. Oh, we gonna talk and saying, nah, I ain't doing that, you know. So I'm finishing out like some things, some projects that I rolled over from 2021 currently, and I'm like just doing them, and I'm like not doing more of this in 2022. I'm like, I know, so I'm setting hard boundaries for myself because I am at the point where like I'm like, yo, I'm tired. If
But
it's
you know
not,
what's interesting about that, especially? It was a whole lot of why I was tired too. And when I had to really sit down, I was like, okay, something's got to give right now because I'm
Mhm.
literally to this point of I don't got much, excuse me, I don't got much more gas. Like right now, I'm on the fumes. Like when your car be on E, when you be
And you
telling
like,
me,
Lord,
I
let
know
me
a
make
car
it this block to this gas
now,
station.
and you still be rolling past the gas stations. I was like that, and I was like, you know what, I can't be giving the best of me to anything right now because I
Yeah,
have nothing, like I have nothing in my cup, and I have to still have something in my cup because I have kids, I have a household, I have a husband, I have a job.
you have a you.
I have a me. Like but see, in recognizing that I was that tired, that allowed me to for once put myself first.
Yeah,
Because what I think happens a lot, which going back to why I'm tired and how us being tired, we're kind of nipping at each other about things. I realize I be doing way too much sometimes. And when I'm saying way too much, I'm not talking about I'm being extra. I'm saying like literally, I'm taking on so
too much
much.
on the plate.
And if something comes up over here, being the type of spirit I am, I'll be like, okay, I gotta fit this in too. And I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And by the time I look up, I'm angry. I got an attitude. You know, kids be like, what's wrong with you? And I'm not
Yeah.
usually like that. I don't usually have that type of energy unless I'm triggered. And I'm like, I had to recognize like I'm moody, I'm yelling, I'm being angry.
Short
I'm
with
not
people.
look with everybody. Okay. I was like this close to flipping over desk at work. I'm at home. So it would have been my desk, which makes no damn sense. But you know, you get my point. I was just that
The
mad.
energy of it all.
And I think that a big reason about why Black women especially are tired, because I've been doing a lot of listening to, kind of being support for people that I love and care about, listening to them talk, and then just realizing like what struggles I've been having in the past few weeks. um Black women are tired because we do so much, like we take on so much all the
Absolutely.
time, and it gets exhausting because although people say that, you know, mothers always celebrated, no, the hell we ain't always celebrated, because there's a whole lot of other little things that we're doing in there, that gets forgotten about. And you know, my kids are still e-learning, so I still have two kids at home doing school, and I am not so, for a community educator, I am a piss poor educator, because these kids, when they have an issue, it'd be like, Lord, I got to take a minute, and YouTube kind of counted me. Shout out to y'all. Y'all be getting me through. Y'all be straight getting me through. So it's like we be taking on so much, and then we get bitter because some of the things we take on, we don't absolutely need to. We have that superhero complex, like that superwoman complex. I have to be the backbone. I have to do this. If I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done right, or it ain't gonna get done at all. And then we tired, and then we're mad. And now I'm snippy at Robert because I done took on some extra mess. that I really probably didn't need to take on, but I felt like
Mhm.
I had to, but nobody told me that I did. It was just that I felt like it was my job to take that on. And so I
But see,
think
that's that generational trauma right there. Because the
right
thing
there.
is, it's like, as a black woman, from I don't know if you or anyone else out there has had the luxury, but maybe I sat down this weekend, honey. So I had the luxury of watching Harlem on Amazon.
Yay! What you
So
think?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So one thing that I really loved is how in each episode on some Sex in the City stuff, she's writing, and as she's writing, she's talking through these different things that relates to the episode, right?
Right.
And all of it, of course, being related to black women and being an independent, strong, sometimes single black woman. And so she said some things that was like really poignant for me about taking on something. And it was the episode where she talked about that strong black woman complex. And so she's like, it's like passed down to us like a rites of passage, and we wear it like this
Yes.
badge of honor. And it's like, I'm a strong black woman. And like, we have to be the strong black woman. And that's what we see. And when we look at other races of women, they don't have to be strong white women. They don't have to be strong Asian women. They ain't gotta wear the bait of the world and hoof the family and pay the bills and flip the dinner
Nope.
and bop it a bop bop bop.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And so that really a lot of points and messages that was in there hit me, but that in particular hit me
Yeah.
heavy because we all tired, and that's
And,
one of
and
the
and you saw yourself in that, right? Because I know
exactly.
I see myself in that all the time. That and it's like for the first time, I actually got to have dinner with my brother, just he and I last night. We sat and had dinner, and we just talked. And I'm like, for the
Oh,
first
family
time,
moment.
yes, I love my big brother, and I don't get to spend a lot of just he and I time together, which is weird because we were freaking inseparable. Like growing up, you saw him. I wasn't the annoying little tag along sister. It was like, hey, you coming to ride with me? Like, yeah, I'm coming. You rock, you rolling, I'm rocking. Let's go. Like that's how we did it. And so, you grow up, you got your families. I spend more time, I think, with my sister in law, but I don't say in law, that's my sister. She married my brother to be my sister. We all know it. So I just kind of,
That's why she married.
that's why she married my brother. She wanted to be my sister. I get it. But, I don't get to spend a lot of he and I time without kids, without spouses, just he and I. We had a good conversation last night. And I was expressing to him, I said, this is the first time in my life I really realized I didn't have no damn boundaries. And I'm tired because I didn't have boundaries. And it's really interesting the fact that I didn't have these boundaries. I literally teach boundaries every single day. So when
That
I'm
part.
talking to these kids and I'm doing these presentations, I'm telling them, like, hey, you need to have boundaries for your protection so many ways. Like, I literally go over the 12 signs of having healthy boundaries. And I'll be sitting there like, I'm being so extra hypocritical right now because
That's because we don't see it as boundaries.
here's the thing,
That's
because
because
of
we
what
don't see
you
it as
said.
boundaries.
That's because of exactly what you said is that it's ingrained in us from very
It's
little.
just what we do.
It's what we do.
It's what we saw our mama do, our grandma do. And I know for me, I look and I think about it and I analyze it, and I'm like looking through my women in my family, and they've all been
The
strong black
strong black
women.
women. Yep.
And not saying that it's a bad thing with being a strong black woman. It's a bad thing when you have to be and you can't turn it off and there's no balance. Because I'm gonna
I feel like
always be
it's a
strong.
bad thing when, first off, I feel like that's weaponized against us sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I think it
Absolutely.
becomes a bad thing to be a strong black woman because that gets weaponized sometimes. Um, not even just from society, but like you said, it can happen even if that's been the theme throughout your like your whole family. You watch how being a strong black woman kind of creates rifts between people in the family too. So
Mm.
I feel like being a strong Black woman can be weaponized both by others, and then we weaponize it sometimes. I need us to be honest that we do that. We take being strong Black women as a way to kind of browbeat others sometimes. And I'll explain that in a minute before y'all jump on my back and be like, "Hey, what are you trying to say?" Like, I think that what people don't, get is that there's a way to let people know where you stand with stuff and still not beat people over the head with it. This was something I had to learn because I grew
Absolutely.
up hearing from my mother, who was a strong Black woman, and her mother, a strong Black woman. Like, I literally came from an entire line of Black women that's just out here doing it and being strong. So I grew up hearing all the time, you're going to have to be stronger than everybody else. You're going to have to be smarter, faster, more hardworking. You're going to have to be the backbone of this. You're going to have to be the backbone of that.
And
You
my thing
that.
is those things aren't necessarily bad things to teach and install, but we need to be doing that to our men too. We need to be putting it into our men just as we put it into our girls, because I think that's where it varies.
I
We're
don't have
not
the
teaching
tambourine.
our boys that they have to do this, and to be the best and the bop, but we teaching our women that. So that becomes generational, where the women have to be that because the man not being that. And so if they don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. And that's
Yeah.
that Black woman saying, skip it, I'll do it myself.
Man, but the detriment in that, the
But the
detriment,
detriment in that, and going back real quick to what I was saying about seeing the strong Black women in my family, like my grandma was super strong. Like she'll beat a man up strong. You hear me talking to you? Like she did it a couple times. You feel me? I done heard the story. And then my mother being a more delicate, strong, because though she wasn't necessarily an aggressive woman, I never seen her necessarily in an altercation with anyone, and like she's loving and all of that. I saw her do it all. I saw my mama walk straight up out of church with her nice dress and heels and start changing the oil in front of the church. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen her do everything, work hard, pay the bills, take care of the kid, by herself or with the partner. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then my sisters are strong in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So seeing them and being the youngest of seeing not only my grandmother, my mother, and then my elder sisters, looking at them, but that was powerful and empowering for me. And that's a large part of why I am who I am today. So I'm grateful for it. But what I didn't see is that balance of one, a man that supported that. Not
yeah,
only was like, baby, you be out there and be strong. I'm not saying support necessarily in that way, even though that is welcome. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
like taking some of that weight off to say, hey, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to bear all of that. You don't have to do all of that. I mean, in any of those situations, like my grandmother was married to my grandfather, but he passed away when I was little. So I didn't get to see that interaction growing up. My mom and my dad got divorced right after I was born. You know what I'm saying? And then my sisters, listen, we all have been divorced, to be honest. So
Yeah, I
you
get
know what
it.
I'm saying?
I
So
get it.
for me, I feel like that's also one reason necessarily why I got divorced, because I allowed too little. I'm going to say that. And I didn't demand what I deserved. And so I let things slide because I feel like I didn't see the support. So I didn't know what that looked like. So when I wasn't getting it at that time, you know what I'm saying? I accepted the fact that I wasn't getting it because I really didn't know what it
What
looked
you
like to begin
saw
with.
was women coming to the table and doing the bulk of the work. And
Absolutely.
um, I have this conversation a lot with other people because I don't know, if I had only had my mom's perspective growing up, I would not be the same woman. And I say that because my mom is very super headstrong. And her message to me was never depend on anybody. Don't ever depend on anybody. Always be able to do it yourself. Like never, never, never. It's a vulnerability that people take advantage of. And when you gotta depend on people to do stuff, you better off just doing it yourself, because then you're putting yourself in a spot where it may not go that way. Like, she was so afraid for that for me. But then I had my brother and my father on the other hand, who were men that protected me, that shielded me. My father spoiled me. There wasn't too much
I
I
have
could I
a
didn't ask
question,
for. Go
sis.
ahead. Go ahead.
With that dynamic in your household, what was that like for your mother and your father with
It
her?
was it was tough for them. It's still tough for them. Like even now, my mom is Mrs. Fix It. Like it ain't. I have not met a thing or seen a thing that my mother can't do. That she will figure it out. So she is more like, I ask you once, you don't do it, then I ain't gonna ask you again. I'm gonna do it
I'm doing
myself.
myself. That's
And
the Black woman anthem.
but I've
I'm
also
make that song, y'all.
I've watched that deteriorate her joy too,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's she's doing that so much all the time, and then it did cause a rift, it did cause an issue, and seeing that was a big reason why I didn't want to get married. Like at one point I was like, I'm never doing that. I'm never getting married. I don't ever want to do it. I'm just gonna have me a maintenance person or companion or something. But I ain't
Maintenance
never
person.
a maintenance person come over, clean your pipes every once in a while, and with your live separate lives, you may do on a trip or two, some dates. Like that was what seemed healthy for me. Was like, I'm just gonna give me a maintenance person. Like that's it. I can't do this whole marriage thing. Because I saw her doing so much. And I
Mm.
felt burdenful. I was like, I don't want to do that. Well, look, if I'm gonna have to be dependent on myself, like hearing her constantly say, like, you gonna only depend on yourself, and you don't depend on no man, nobody ever. Like you just do it all yourself. I was like, well, hell, if I'm gonna do it all myself, I
Do
might as
we
well
know
just
what?
get married.
Do we know what? Because most all of this, I ain't gonna say most of this. All of this type of behavior comes from a trauma.
Exactly, and
Do
I
we
know
know? Do we know what her trauma was?
exactly where it comes from. I know, and it's so funny because my brother and I have these conversations all the time as we
Mm.
become older and more self-aware. We're constantly trying to pull my parents a little bit like, hey, I need you to recognize this. I've had some really tough conversations with both my parents, both my mom and my dad, just about things growing up where it was like, I need you to understand now that I'm an adult and I'm grown and I can say things, I can express them a little bit better. Um, it's not like you looking at me like you being disrespectful because I'm not a small kid. I need you to know this. So I've been having, especially since I've been setting them boundaries, I've been telling you about these
As
really
we all should.
these deep conversations with my parents. And sometimes they don't go so right. Like me and my mom be like two bulls in a china shop sometimes because she feel how she feels. She old school. She ain't changed. Look, she said what she said, right?
Right. I
Um,
said
I
what I
said
said.
what I said. But I appreciate that my dad, I think, I was talking to my brother about this. I feel like my dad is hitting some other type of awakening for himself because when we have these conversations, it is so different. My dad be like, you know what? I did do that. And I'm sorry. And I need you to know this. And I need you to know that. And I'd be like, wow, because I don't even be expecting the apology. I just be expecting the acknowledgement. Like, this is how this affected me. So when I do get the apology from either of my parents, I be in here like, wow, they
That's a
apologize.
win. But
You
I
know,
think that's the thing. Elders, I was actually talking to an elder the other day, and I love that we had this conversation because she was saying that her generation has to realize and humble themselves to their children to know that they have something to teach us. And she was talking about her kids and how specifically her daughter teaches her every day.
every day.
And she was like,
Every day.
she is my elder because of what she's been through. You know what I'm saying? And she teaches me so much. And so she was saying, as elders, they have to humble themselves and have those conversations and be able to listen because they don't know it all. And coming from different generations, like the sister said, like our parents and our grandparents' generation, things were so different then in
So
relations to mental health, in relations to being
different.
able to say
Oh,
no, and relation, you know what I'm saying? And
um,
one thing that you mentioned in your statement, I think it was around the maintenance man part
no,
right there.
no.
Now that, but
I
those
am like this
things,
man. I just so happened to marry him. So,
come on here for the win.
I gotta make this man.
I'm weird.
But yes,
But
ma'am.
one thing about that though is we talked about how when we're tired, we're irritable and we're cranky, and we had this in a different conversation when we were talking about sex and women's relationship. Come on, Robert. And women's relationship
I was waiting for
to,
you. You know that's
to
y'all get
that's
on
my
my
homie. I miss Robert. Come on, we gonna talk. All right. Listen. The thing is that fact women and men as well listen to these facts and then go look them up for yourself. Is that sex is a mood inducer. Sex is healthy for your body. Sex is healthy mentally, spiritually, and physically when you with the right person and doing it right. Okay, because let me say that. It ain't healthy with everybody, but with the right person. But also for women, we not only are physical beings, but we're very intellectual and spiritually connected. So we are tied into other areas. So it's not just like sometimes, I ain't gonna say not all the time, but sometimes it is just I'm horny, let go.
Right.
But also often if I'm not feeling respected, if I'm not feeling appreciated, if I'm not feeling loved, if I'm not feeling however I'm supposed to be feeling, which is being tired and feeling some kind of way, I'm not
so
gonna
glad
want
you
to
brought
have
that
sex.
up. But I want to hit. I didn't finish your one question, and I'm gonna
Oh,
go
about
back
the
to
trauma, the pleasant
yes,
trauma.
and just like what that was like growing up, having those two perspectives, and then I definitely want to touch on that because in all of these conversations I told you I've been having, that part right there has been a big theme of conversations with my fellow friends, women, peers. Is that part, the lack of respect and connection and wanting to be physically intimate with someone when you don't feel cared for and loved about. And that is a big reason of why we tired, why women are tired as well. But to answer your previous question about knowing where exactly the trauma came from, is that I am the first woman in my generation in the last, I want to say, I have to count here.
You know it's real when you gotta count.
Yeah, so I think it's that that is, well, I can't say that because my grandmother married my grandfather, who I never got a chance to meet, but he passed when my mom and aunt were very young. So my grandmother was single mother. She was like alone with my mom and my sister. I mean, my mom and my aunt and her sister. And so then my great grandmother, she was married. So I grew up seeing a lot of marriage. Like that is something that when I tell people about, like most people don't see a lot of marriage, but I was surrounded by marriage growing up. Practically, if it wasn't like a legal marriage, it might as well have been. It was
Common
like
law.
common law marriage. Like I
Y'all
grew
been
up
together
with
10
a
plus
lot.
years.
I seen that all my life, right? But when it came to my mom, there were a lot of traumas that my mom, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my great great grandmother, and so on had endured by hands of men. And so, being a woman, it was super important for my mom that I didn't experience the same type of traumas that she did. And in a lot of ways, I did kind of break those curses. In some ways, I did kind of still experience some of the same traumas that she did. But that's the story of the vast majority of Black women. Like we're victimized in so many ways that we don't always speak upon all the time, which is another reason why we're tired. So for her, it was like, I got to tell you not to be vulnerable to these things because that's me protecting you. But if I had have just only heard that perspective, if I didn't have my father and my brother, I would probably be very bitter and angry. Like
Which are some, we gotta be honest,
yeah,
that's a percentage of Black women in America and Black women in general.
I would be a
Now for
very
the men
different
out there,
person.
because some would be like majority or all. No, absolutely not.
Not all.
Absolutely not majority. Absolutely not all. It's some, but there's reason why. Y'all know me. If not, we're gonna refresh. But why? Right? We
Right.
always gotta ask the but why. That's why I started tracing back. I'm like, but what was your mama's trauma? Like there was a beginning space. So everything that happens and all the trauma that's being passed down, there was a beginning point to that led to the actions that happened because of the triggering or the initial impact or trauma. And so we always have to ask, but why? So it's easy just to point fingers and say people, um jaded and people this and people that, but it's like, okay, but why?
Why
What
are
are
they
the
like
things
that?
that led up to this point? They
Mhm.
didn't just wake up that way.
At all. None of us do. Like none of us just wake up like that. And I really think that again, having that different perspective, I gained a lot from that perspective from my mom. It did make me very independent because what my father and brother always told me was while she was yelling about that, they were in my ear like, listen, I don't want you to be that way. Like, I want you to have a partner. You deserve to have a mate that's going to do this, 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 and this for you. My brother and my father used to be like, if they can't come, if they're gonna come and take you from our protection, that man has to be able to provide what we've been providing for you. And this is how you're gonna be able to spot that.
Absolutely.
This is what you should be looking for. And what they said was, your mom's right. You do need to be independent, but you shouldn't have to do it by yourself. Like, I want you
And
to
you
be
don't
capable.
deserve to. I think
You
that's
don't
the other
deserve
part.
to. Yes, they were like, I need you to be capable of doing that because there's a lot of reasons why that man may not be around anymore that has nothing to do with him leaving you, but
Mm-hmm.
that you have to do it by yourself. And so I need you to be strong enough to withstand, but don't you go into any situation with no man thinking that you're supposed to be doing it all. And
And that's that balance. That's that balancing act
that's the
right
balance.
there. And for women that are like, some women are like, you know what, I can do it all. I don't need no man. I bet. I that's
That's
yours
fine
around
too.
here. You know what I'm saying? That's out there too. But it's like at the same time, we get to be strong,
Mm-hmm.
which gets us to the point of being tired. But we also, what we're missing most of the time is that part to say, but you deserve.
Man, I'm
Be
telling you.
strong. Be bodybuilder strong. Be Louisa strong, okay? Because
Mhm.
Encanto running these streets out here. I don't know y'all heard about Encanto. But also that pressure drip drip like okay, never stop. You feel me? Oh, you feel me? Like
I literally,
Louisa was tired. You hear
I
me?
tired. You get tired.
Tired.
You
And
get
that
tired.
pressure. When
Yeah.
we talk about self-care, and to be 100% honest, being a strong black woman not only makes you tired like physically, like you want to take a nap, because that's the thing, but also because naps, baby, but also
I had one last
mentally
week.
and
It changed my life.
emotionally and spiritually you tired. And like not only will your body sit you down to take that nap, but your something will snap as well. Either you
Your
snapping
spirit
on
will.
somebody, or you snapping and you need to be committed somewhere, or like we can't take on the weight of the world because we're not built to. So I think finding
Nobody,
that
none
balance and
of
saying
us
I
are
can do it all, but
supposed
I
to
don't
be
have to.
taking on the world solely. If that was the case, there wouldn't be all of these people. It would be one person. Like there's a reason why there's human beings on the planet. There's a reason why.
Teamwork make the
Listen,
dream work.
and I think we forget that. But to your point that you were making about women feeling tired and losing that connection to that, I think a lot of us genuinely go into it like, I'm gonna do my part, right? I ain't saying all of us now. I'm be honest now. There are some of us that's not showing up in that way, but that is not the masses. Most black women, when they get with somebody, whoever that somebody may be, they're going in it with the intent to invest themselves in it. They want to be the ride or die. They want to be, which I ain't doing
Oh
that shit. We ain't
Lord.
riding down nothing, but they want to be that person. They want to be that person for you that has your back, that's riding with you, that's going to the front line to fight with you. You watch they back, back to back. Y'all watch each other back, be the eyes and ears that, behind you. But I think that part of it is us taking on things that we really shouldn't be taking on, but the other part is because we don't have a choice, and we need to be honest about that men are falling short in a lot of ways when it comes to provision. And so even if you have that good woman that's starting out like wanting to invest herself in it, she's been broken so many times over. Like there's a joke that, men can't handle the same energy that they put in, back. They can't handle that. But it's true to an extent. You have to, if you sit down and you really talk to Black women and you talk to them about how many times they've been burned in that way, where they tried to show up, they tried to invest in the person that was trying to follow their dreams or do whatever. It was like, okay, you don't have to come here already built. Like, I can build with you. Let's build together. And because they're not, a lot of men aren't getting real husband instruction. They're
Come
not
on.
getting real husband instruction.
Come on.
We hear wife instruction from birth.
Come on.
We hear a wife does this, a wife is supposed to do that from birth. Like every
But the
aspect
thing
of
is,
life,
also, they hearing it too.
they're not hearing.
No. Listen, they hearing wife instructions. They
They
not
hear
hearing
wife
husband
instructions.
instructions.
There you
That's
go.
why you get, so women are hearing wife instructions and men are hearing wife instructions, but nobody's telling the husband what to do. So you get in situations where you grow up and those kids become adults and they out here commingling and habitating and whatnot. Okay. And the young man supposedly knows what he wants his wife to do, but he doesn't know what he needs to do to uphold his position as husband.
To facilitate that. Like
Right.
there was a
Because
comment
they
from
know that woman that
somebody.
can cook, that can clean, that can take care of the kids, that can fold the clothes, that can boop it a boop it a boo, that can throw it back on the man. They know they want all of that. But what are your roles, sir? Can you run me your list?
Yes. And I've had this conversation a lot because I think that people keep trying to say, it's kind of like a contradiction, because I come across conversations where people are like, you got to bring it back to the old school when our grandmothers was submissive and they was doing this. Well, now if we gonna really dig deep, I'm sure a lot of us can say that we know good and dang on well our grandmothers was like, hey baby, you ain't got to do it like how I did it. No more times unchanged. Because even then it wasn't that your grandfathers were being these exemplary examples of husbands. Women didn't have many options, so that was the only thing that they had to get married if they were going to survive, if they were going to grow old and be taken care of. If they couldn't get jobs, they couldn't get bank accounts, they couldn't do all of these things. Like literally, it's a man's world. They had to have a husband to just exist, right? And so as times have changed where women don't need that aspect of survival, no one is teaching the generation of men how to deal with that now. And it's still like we got to go back to when women couldn't do anything without us, instead of recognizing like that didn't necessarily make things best either. Like I know a bunch of grandmothers that was
making
unhappy.
it so that we can't live without you because you're so amazing. Because you're so caring, supportive, and helpful, and loving, and amazing that we just can't live life without you. Be a Robert. Be a producer out here.
Hold on, wait. Sometimes I be want to put his ass out. I don't know. She's gonna stop.
Be that other half of Robert when you don't get put out.
Look, but I'm
be
just
that half.
That it's super important. What you just said is that if a woman feels that way, she's not gonna want to go anywhere. She's gonna want to automatically do the things that you need for her to do. And so, look, I love you. You better stop. If I end up fighting you on this social media, this live.
But with the right man, this is the thing. Men, I see these Insta famous dudes out here just belittling women, talking about you're chasing. I saw this dude today. I started down like you're chasing used vagina. You're chasing women with loud mouths. I started. A white dude had to check him. That's how bad it was. Like it was a brother who was saying that a white guy had to check him. But the thing is you're saying all of these things, but they don't equate. Your penis is used as well. What? Why are we acting like they all don't supposed to get used? It's too
no, but it's different for men. It's a different set of rules.
That's malarkey. But and then everybody wants to talk about submission. Women need to submit.
That's where I was going. That's
It's
where
a
I was
thing.
going. Let's go there.
You
Let's
don't
go there.
beat a woman into submission. And that's Western culture, white man slavery right there. If we go, y'all know me, we're gonna take it back, okay, to the source of the trauma, okay? Talking about generational curses, that's where it started. That's white man behavior. You don't have to beat your woman into submission. If you handling your business and you're taking care of your part and you're playing your role, that woman gonna want to submit to you. She's going to want to make sure you taken care of. She's going to want, and if she don't, and you're playing your role, you need to find you another woman, just straight up.
Because if we're going to be fair, there are some women that you could be doing what you need to do. You could be handling the business accordingly, and they're still not going to meet you in that. They're not going to, they just want to be taken care of. So we're not going to
Then that's
skip
not
over
your
the fact
woman.
that does happen. But that is not, honestly, that's not the majority. Like
It's
most
not.
women aren't like that. Most women do want to have that guidance and that leadership in some way with a partner, whoever that partner is. But if we're going to stick to it being the traditional wife husband type of relationship, if you are watering your wife, she will grow in the direction that you need her to grow in. There is not a time that I'm being like mean or dysfunctional and my stuff is being taken care of. I'm at my best when he is doing what I need. That could even mean, hey baby, I'm hungry and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And I will get up and make that man a sandwich. If I am being taken care of the way I need to be, I'm going to be eager to take care of you. That is the nurturing spirit of a woman. Like women naturally want to do that stuff.
And those are the cups you mentioned earlier about how when your
Right.
cup is empty, you can't pour into nobody else's cup. And when we talk about being tagged, okay, tagged, absolutely, when your cup is empty, you can't pour into nobody else's. This is where boundaries come in, saying, nah, I don't need to do that, come in. So your cup is, you pouring back into your cup, self-care, yoga, baths, whatever it is for you, pouring back into your cup, and then let the overflow pour into everybody else's cup. And when it comes to like relationships and marriage and partnerships like that, if y'all both pouring into each other's cup, ain't nobody gonna be empty. Both cups just gonna stay full.
That's
Okay.
it.
And then the overflow goes to your children. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you mad at your husband or you mad at your wife and y'all conflicting and ain't nobody doing what the other person need or what you need for yourself, because doing what the other person need really is doing what you need too, because y'all gonna both end up happy. Now the kids getting half ass because you yelling at the kids because you mad at her, and then like, you know what I'm saying? So if you both do your part, your cup stay full and the overflow pours down to your children and everybody else around you. And then using that same scenario individually, if you're pouring into your cup and your cup is full, everybody around you get the overflow. So if you single without kids, that's your friends, that's your family, that's your co-workers or employees if you the boss. You know what I'm saying? It's still that same concept though. We have to pour back and we will be a whole lot less tired. And we have to make sure we make time to do the things that we love to do.
Yeah.
What you love to do.
Yeah. Because that's one of the first things to go. When you feeling tired and you feeling overwhelmed, self-care goes quickly. And it happens so fast that you don't even necessarily realizing that that's what you're doing. And then what happens when you're not self-caring or you're feeling exhausted? You are not your best you. I am not my best me when I'm exhausted. Whether that is just like mood wise or I can't even talk right most of the time when I'm exhausted. I am tripping and stumbling over my words all over the place. Or I'm doing weird stuff like looking for my cell phone for 10 minutes and I'm holding it. Or, one day I was mad as hell that my coffee, I was trying to brew another thing of coffee. And I was like, this coffee machine is broken. I ain't push no button, and it took me a long time to realize like the button is not green. Like I was legit mad. One day I cut the wrong iron on the stove and burnt a glass top to a pot because I was tired. So then we got it off, and as soon as it hit the cold air and stuff, it shattered glass all over the place. And I'm like, now this is not something I would normally do if I ain't tired. Right. So we are not our best selves when we're tired and when we're exhausted. If we are pouring into each other, and that's not just like your partnerships. I need us to pour into each other always because
Yeah.
we were meant to be a village. I've had this conversation with my brother so many times. It really started to happen when we were talking about he was frustrated, which we gonna have that talk, or we gonna talk about that. He was upset about hearing a lot that Black women always saying that they're not protected by Black men. We
Mm.
were going back and forth.
Somebody commented that earlier on.
Oh, we was going back and forth because he was like,
We
"That's not
aren't protected and often
no." And
hated.
when I broke it down to him, I said, you're not hearing it." And I think this is the problem that most Black men look at is when Black men that get that upset about it, when they hear us say that, one of the first defenses they come up with is, "I protect the women in my family all the time." And but you're only talking about the women in your family.
No, three,
But
four,
you
one.
don't see, like, but what about the rest of the women? Because if you look at us like a village, and
We
that
all
even though
do
it's not your mom, your auntie, your sister, daughter, cousin, but just another Black woman that looks like you, that needs your help, needs your protection, then you would get it. So yes, I grew up very protected. I had a father, a big brother that didn't play about his baby sister. Um, and his best friends are my brothers. Those are my brothers. I've grown up with them since I was 11 for one, 12, for the others. So they've been in my life more than half my life. Like, they have always been a source of protection also. So I personally grew up with a whole lot of protection. But I know
You
a
hear
lot
that
of
all
my
the time.
friends that didn't. I have a lot of female friends that didn't grow up with that, didn't have that same level of protection. And then they go out in the world and they're victimized, or they're objectified, they are mistreated, they are violated. Like, just the fact that men don't understand how much or how many of us are survivors of sexual assault.
That's male privilege.
They have no, like, 1 in 5. The next time you are at your Thanksgiving dinner, know that for every 5 Black women in that room with you, at least one of them is a survivor, has been sexually violated at some point. And we never talk about it. We never talk about what those violation looks like. And then the part two that's really concerning is that a lot of the ways in which we've been violated, Black men don't look at it as being a violation. They
That's
don't know
worse.
that is also a violation. And so we grow up feeling like we are completely responsible for our bodies and the behaviors that men will have about our bodies. They can't control themselves, which is another thing I got into a whole Facebook debate with one day
I'm
about
tired of that
it.
right
Look,
there. That's what I'm
I'm
tired
trying
of.
to tell you, and
Raise these
I
children,
ended up
these young men and boys.
I ended up getting blocked from a conversation. First one I ever got blocked from on a conversation because it was a submission conversation. And it was talking, and one person commented about, yeah, all the stuff that women don't do, and they don't cover up, and they don't do this, and men can't control themselves in this. I said, so wait a minute. You want us to submit to a bunch of people that can't control their behavior? Because I be attracted to people. I ain't gonna go touch nobody. I ain't got no business touching or doing anything. So you want me to feel like I can be led by someone that has no self control? Like,
But
isn't
see,
that?
that's that westernized white man slave too.
It's like, wait a minute. Like, do you even
Why do you feel
understand
like you could just go grab and take something that ain't yours
that ain't yours? And it
just
happens a
because you
lot.
want it? That's that white. I'm trying to tell you. It
And
all
again,
rolls on over from slavery, honey.
and that's why we
Because
tried.
why? Why and how and who and what and where and all the other questions. Listen, if we, this is what I'm tired of. Okay.
Don't get it out, sis. We got you.
As parents, let's be the change, okay? So that our kids ain't got to be tired of the things that we tired of right now,
Thanks.
okay? So as parents, as aunties, cousins, uncles, mentors, okay, let's shift these curses so our kids ain't gotta be sad too. Because I'm tired of that same argument. A boy's gonna be boys or men gonna be men, and it's acceptable for them to cheat, and it's acceptable for them to rape people or molest people or touch people
Mm.
or say vulgar comments, or it's acceptable for any of that.
Hmm.
To hit people, you gonna haul off and hit a woman? Oh, you
You
just
already know how I feel about it. You know, this is what I do on the day to day. Like we are not doing this.
why we the blame? Because when stuff
Hmm.
like that happen, I sure look at people, mama. I ain't gonna lie.
You
And
know
then I
what?
look at their daddies too. Because some
I
people
was
like,
gonna
you
say, 'cause
always
it's
asking
really
our
not
mama.
fair.
No, I look
It's
at
not
their
fair.
daddies
It's
too.
not supposed to be just on us, but I get it. I think that goes again back to us really taking on the responsibility for everything, because my saying is has always been my kids cannot grow up to be the person that somebody be like, your mama messed you up, your mama so messed you up, or your mama didn't teach you this, or your mama didn't tell you that, or your mama didn't do her job. And it's not a they mama didn't, their parents didn't, because we surely don't make them by ourselves. Like it
Absolutely.
requires
And if it
two.
was solely left to the mother and the father wasn't there, it's even more the father's fault. Because at least she was there. You know what I'm saying? So I look at both parents. Because also, what the father is teaching, the mother is allowing. So even in that thing, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa. If y'all a unit, both of y'all messed up. I don't know if y'all ever seen 40-year-old version with Kevin Hart part. Have y'all ever seen 40? You ever seen 40
Wait,
year old
40-year
version?
old version with Kevin Hart part? When was
So
Kevin
Kevin
Hart in?
Hart at the store, when they was at the store,
Oh, and he came
when
in.
they was at a rent center or something, like I don't know.
Yeah, it
But he
wasn't a
walked in and he
rental.
was
It
like,
was supposed to
"This
be
your
like
him?
a Best Buy. It was like Tech
This
Buy.
your
You know, that's
friend?
one of my
You with
favorite
him?
movies.
He with you? Well, both of you then. Like that's how it is with parenting. Like it ain't just one of y'all fault. It's
Both of
both
y'all.
of y'all fault. And the thing is, like, we gotta take that L. I'm not saying just like those parents over there, because societally, like Sante just said, they all our children at this point. Y'all all my sisters, y'all all my brothers at this point.
Hmm.
And so if we allow this whole generation to grow up bet crazy and just be looking at them like, dang,
Messed up. Somebody done
that's
did them
crazy.
wrong.
These kids out here just, I'm tired of that. That's all of our responsibility. You can't just look at them doing the foolishness and not try to do something to combat it. And it's like, can we move into 2022 and beyond and say enough is enough? We tired of this and actually do something about these things, please. Because it's never acceptable for a man to put their hands on a woman in any kind of way that's not warranted. Like that she said, yes, please, thank you, yes, please. And then vice versa for women, because it's
Right.
men out here.
I was gonna say it's women out here that abuse too now. Like we have some
Exactly. That's what I'm
women
saying.
that
And
are
vice
domestic
versa.
abusers
It's
as
never
well.
acceptable for
Mm-hmm.
anyone to put their hands, touch, say anything to someone that didn't ask for it, literally, and say, I want this. And we have to make that change and that shift in teaching our children this, because it's passed on trauma and behavior.
And that's the important part. Like so much of why we tired is from carrying burdens that happened well before most of us were born. And
Mm-hmm.
whether we experience them firsthand or not, we experience them through our parents and our grandparents, whether it's in how they rear us as children or just in whatever type of relationship that we end up having with them, or just being a spectator and seeing how they live in life, how they navigate the world. One of the things, like, I saw my mother tired. I saw my mother frustrated. I saw my mom's trauma and how she felt about herself and how she gave herself so much, so all the time, to a detriment because she
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be validated. She wanted to get back what she put in. And you hear the golden rule. You treat people how you want to be treated, but that don't always guarantee people gonna treat you that way.
Come
And
on.
I watched that be hurtful for my mom growing up. And it made me afraid in a lot of instances to see myself in her, see that same nature, giving nature in myself. And I think she saw that nature in me and kind of wanted to deter it as much as she could, because for her it was a source of her pain. And just thinking about how that trauma really gets in the way of us allowing our children to find who they are, to be comfortable in who they are, to grow in who they are, to nurture them. Because when one of the things that I had to get over with generational trauma is not getting so afraid when I'm seeing a certain characteristic that I don't like about me in my kids, and having to unlearn that this is a bad thing and I have to get it out of them, instead of this can be a harmful thing if I don't show them how to have balance with it. And I
Mhm.
think that that is super important. And I just don't want to see the next generation. And my hope is that my grandchildren, if my children so see fit to have them, but my grandchildren, I don't want them to look at their parents and feel that way. There are times when my daughter has admitted that she's looked at me and was afraid to grow up and be a woman, because I feel like she looks at me doing so much and I'm tired and I don't have fun anymore. I'm not self-caring. I'm not doing these things. But when she sees me do the things that make me happy, then she takes things. She wants to find out what things make her happy. And so that's one of the most important things that we have to fix with being tired, is that our children are going to carry that same burden of tiredness if we don't address it and we don't fix it. And it's just
Mhm.
this continuous cycle. And then they're going out in the world already exhausted. They ain't even experienced
Then
half.
he started. But these kids, though, for real, they be in school like, I'm
Look, I'm
tired.
tired. Like I
I'm
done
doing
had
what?
they be going through it now. We gonna talk about that, because these kids, I don't want to hear from no adult ever that kids don't go through stuff,
Oh
because
no, they going through.
they going through it. So we gonna talk
Oh
about what
yes,
kids
we
are going
have
through.
to.
So this is a several part conversation. From here on out, all we gonna talk is going to be 1 hour episode. So hopefully you guys can hang out with us the whole hour. We know that going for 2 hours, especially in the middle of the week, we be tired. So we be tired. We can't always be here on here at 10 o'clock. And shoot, sister getting old. By like 9:30, I be starting to shut down. I'm closer and closer to my 7 p.m. bedtime. I know it's around the corner.
Did you say
But
7 p.m., sis?
like the grandparents. Like my grandmother, my granny on Robert's side, because I don't call her my granny in law. That's my grandma. I still all of his people. I just love her. She's my granny.
That's because
Um,
y'all a unit.
I just love her. That woman from day one was like, he can't bring nobody else up in here. I was like, I'm in. She's like, you can't bring nobody else up in here. So I love me some Perlene. But yeah, she be like,
Wait, what's her name?
Perlene.
Perlene.
Yes,
Yeah. Where's she from?
yes.
Perlene.
So I believe Robert correct me. I love me some granny. Oh, she know I love me some her. She be tickling me too, because now she getting to that spot where she don't hold nothing back, and she be saying some stuff and it be catching me off guard. I be like, where that come from? But I be so tickled. I be so tickled. I just
And who
love
gonna
me some
check her?
her. And not me. Not me. I ain't playing with her. No. Nope. I ain't going there. But I was saying that to say she goes to bed like 7 o'clock. Her and Gramps used to go to bed like 7 p.m. Before we lost Gramps, he wasn't driving when it was dark. He wasn't doing none of that stuff. So I'm getting closer to my 7 p.m. bedtime. I'm getting old.
I'm not gonna play with you.
I'm 25, but I'm an old 25.
I'm not gonna play with you. You see that comment in there talking about
I
remember
know that's my
when
yo-yo.
you
She know I'm 25. Me and her both 25. Right, yo-yo? We both 25. Yeah, we both
Oh
25.
yes,
Y'all got
right,
this stuff. This
right.
need to be. I'm 2 days over wash day today, so y'all got all of this puff today.
Girl,
But
them curls fleeking.
you still see
Girl, I still,
them.
yes.
You still see them. I'm still. My curls still popping.
They pop in right along with that lip, honey.
Well, thank you. You know I love my
Yes.
red lip. I love my red lipstick. I be in here ugly as all get out, but I go put on this red lip in a minute.
You say I'm
Yeah.
ancient.
No,
That's
you
all
ain't.
I'm-
No, you ain't, Anika. But we are going to be continuing this conversation. We're going to be talking about all the reasons why we tired from all different perspectives. We spent a lot of focus tonight talking about from the women's perspective, but we know that us, those men out there, our brothers, is mad and tired too. And I've
Come
had
on, men,
some of
folks. We
those
want to hear from
conversations.
you.
I've heard from them too. Like
Come
they
on.
out here tired. We got a lot of good brothers still out here
Yes, we do.
trying to do right, trying to do things. And they too are running into challenges of finding somebody that's, on the same journey as them, and they tired. So we want to make sure that we understand this is not a one-sided conversation. All of us is tired. Us women's is tired, our men's is tired,
These
our
kids tired.
tired. Like, and in this
Everybody tired.
climate with this
The
pandemic, we all
dog
extra
tired.
tired. Ugh, that's a whole nother story. I just want some normalcy. I don't think we're gonna get it no time soon. But you know what I want to do before we get up off of here?
What's that, sis?
I can't wait till I can do this again. I want to be able to go to a carnival carefree, and I want me a funnel cake and some fried Oreos. Like, that's it. I want to ride the kiddie roller coaster because I'm getting kind of, my guts ain't the same. I ain't been on no roller coaster in years. I keep telling myself I want to go to Great America, but I'm not. I think I'm just kind of last.
You just want the funnel cake.
I want some funnel cake, and I don't know why I love me some fried Oreos. I tried to make them myself.
I think they have them at that black owned sweet shop. There's a couple of them. I think about 3 around Chicago. BB's. They have like old fashioned candy and ice cream bar, and like I think they do the funnel cakes and stuff there too.
You already know I'm pandemic fluffy. Don't be telling me that.
I'm sorry, they don't do them.
I'm already interested. I'm gonna go Google now. You done already spilled the beans.
They don't do them.
You already know. But we are going to be finishing this topic next week, and we'll be having guests next week that's going to be talking more about why we tired. We're going to be talking about from male's perspective. But what me and Nat try to do is we try never to speak from male perspective because we ain't men, so we want to hear it from them. So be on the lookout for that when we going to talk more about why they tired, why they so tired, because we all are at this point. And before we get off for the night, I want to take special note and that y'all be looking out for the trailer tomorrow for Melanated in America, the series. Okay. Your very own Natalie B will be launching her trailer for the new season of Melanated in America. I'm super excited. I can't wait to watch. I was supposed to have been an extra at one point, but I just couldn't get it all together. It's supposed to be my acting debut.
There'll be more opportunities, sis. I
already know. I'll be ready. I'll make sure that when I come to shoot, I take a nap because naps are,
they essential.
Yeah, we really should have nap time. I feel like PTO time, like when you get benefits packages at work, there should be lunchtime and you should have a nap time. Just think of how the productivity would like go up if people had naps.
Because you work better after you was nap. You refreshed. Because before the nap, you groggy. You sending emails like this, like you drunk. Take a nap, wake up.
I forgot to proofread an email or two, and I'm like, Lord, I swear, I'm so tired of people probably thinking I ain't got a whole master's degree. I swear I'm not illiterate. I promise you. I'm actually really good with grammar. It's just I'm tired and I need that nap. So I totally get it. But we're not getting off topic. Tomorrow the trailer of MIA comes out.
Melanated in America. Go
Tell
to
them
YouTube.
after the trailer, when can we expect the launch of the new season?
You ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Because this is an exclusive. This ain't dropped nowhere yet.
It's an exclusive.
But I'm going to tell you because you asked, sis.
Because I asked.
So, we going to talk exclusive, y'all.
Look, ask and you shall receive. See,
you
what
feel
me? Closed mouth doesn't get fed. It don't get
fed. Feel me? That's why we tag, because we ain't saying what we need.
Look,
I need help.
I almost tambourine this up. I ain't got no tambourine. This in my Amazon card. I'm tired of this. My triangle.
Like, what is that tambourine with that triangle?
I'm doing the triangle. Remember?
Okay. I'm gonna add the djembe to the mix next week.
Some symbols. Okay, I'm between triangles and symbols now.
With a whole
marching band. Then when I could be flipping them around like that.
Crazy. You was in the band? Okay. No. HBCU marching band style now? Okay. You just inspired?
I'm inspired.
Okay.
Some line inspired me.
But the show is dropping. Melanated in America, the series will be dropping March of 2022. So y'all be on the lookout. March 2022. It will run actually from March all the way to July. It will be 20 weeks of content, 10 scripted series episodes, and then 10 talkbacks with cast and crew about the subject matter for each episode the following week. So it's gonna be fire. Y'all make sure y'all on the lookout. Melanated America, the series dropping in March. First look trailer drops tomorrow. Go follow and like the pages everywhere. Melanated in America.
And you can look on all of our pages, and so that's including our personal pages and our We Gonna Talk page. We will be sharing info for the trailer tomorrow, as well as when the new season drop. Come on out and support y'all. We all we got, as my beloved Anika say. Hey, we all we got. Like, you are so right about that. That's what she says all the time. Love you, Anika. Anika's dope. Anika is so dope. I just
How you Anika girl?
I'm just
and shout out to everybody who came for the welcome back.
Y'all all
thank all y'all.
Sister was on here. My sister Alvina. Robert ain't got no choice because I'm just kidding. That man,
yo.
He always shows up. I appreciate you, babe. Yes, you even you, my love. And then yes, we got Yolanda. I've been knowing Yo-Yo since freshman year of high school. I'm not gonna tell you how long that's been because it's none of y'all business. Just know it's been a long time. And this is like one of my most special friends. Like, we don't talk every day, but when we do get to talk, it's like no time has passed. If Yo-Yo was to call me at 3:25 a.m. and say she need me, I'm getting up. I'm coming. I don't care if I got look, I don't care if I have to canoe over the ocean.
Not a canoe.
I'm coming, girl. Hold on. Give you that. I'm coming, friend. That is my boo. I love her to pieces. She's always super supportive in any way she can be, whether it's for me or the babies. Special friend. I mentioned my sister Alvina. That's my sister who's from Peoria. She always show up. And for those of you that didn't comment that was with us tonight, thank y'all for the welcome back. We back, y'all. We back. We had a breather, and now it's game on. Game on. So next week, Why I'm Tired, part 2, we're going to be talking about the male perspective. Be prepared to come and chime in on that. And if you are male that's willing to talk about all the different ways that you are tired, I got a couple people that I kind of want to bring back on here. We saw you, Dreezy Klaus.
You know, Dreezy, our honorary co-host.
I know. He be trying to act like he don't want the title. He coming back.
You know he the honorary co-host. You know what it is, Dre.
And it ain't no more Dreezy Klaus season.
Right.
He got time.
He got time now. Holiday season is over, even though holiday season for him is like October to January.
He be out there hustling. We so proud of you, Dre. We so proud of you.
Big facts.
Dre has like this year, this season was explosive for him and
being the first.
Well deserved. Solid good dude, solid good brother. In case there are any women that are serious, Nad and I are doing interviews.
It's about y'all know I stay with a pen.
Let me stop before he be ready to beat us up.
Let's go. Because you got to be a good one to get Dre. Okay? We don't play about Dre.
Not at all.
Y'all know I'm starting a dating show. Real life. You heard it here first. I'm starting a dating show.
I need to talk to you because I got some ideas on that.
Let's get it. Let's come
on.
Right.
We
gonna be we gonna talk Melanated in America mashup. Y'all send us some emails. We gonna talk emails.
Oh, we're gonna have to do some more of that anyway. It's gonna be more to come from Melanated and Mirror. We gonna talk. So when I say we be thinking, even when we ain't live, we be thinking. But we're gonna let these folks go. You know, we'll get to talking again, and we're gonna try to keep it to that hour. Y'all be out here, be safe, take care, self-care, y'all. Remember, you matter. And if you don't hear it enough, we love you. We love you. We appreciate you. You're beautiful. You is kind. You is smart. You is important. Okay? We need you to know that. And come back next week. We gonna see y'all next week? Yeah, same time.
Share, tell a friend. The men folk gonna speak.
They gonna speak.
Hopefully it's a good single one on here so I can take notes.
Oh, we gonna talk. We gonna talk.
We gonna talk.
Good night, y'all.